Hi everyone, this is Emily, also known as Ethereal Chasing, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have Stormy with me, as always. But I have another video today. It is about healing and reframing the victimhood. Oh, I need to close my window. I just want to say that 99% of us learned this frame of mind from the people that we were entrusting to teach us and guide us. It may have been a family member or a really close friend that you picked up on this from. Give yourself some grace in remembering that you can drop and relearn new behaviors and new thought patterns at your will. Anything that you think is your own isn't. I mean, we all have a core to who we are, of course, but when you become self-aware, when you get quiet enough through meditation or through other types of quieting the mind, you find that a lot of these things that cause us pain are our own doing, and we can reteach and re-raise ourselves, essentially. So I wrote down in my journal some things on how to notice and quickly change victim mentality or victim ways of thinking. It's just another type of dysfunctional thought where we relinquish our power to something that is not our own. I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you know what it is. So start by forgiving yourself for the false narratives, such as the thoughts that you're obsessing over. My mind keeps thinking of false narratives, and then I just keep forgetting. A lot of people that are similar to me have come from parents or grandparents that focused heavily on the lack of the world, and their whole lives would basically be centered around that. So that's essentially why my mind went there. That's one of those big ones that I think comes up for a lot of people, and people don't realize that they're being a victim about it as well. So maybe that's one you gotta look at for yourself, or maybe there's another one that's coming up for you. But essentially, start by forgiving yourself for it, right? You didn't create that thought yourself, you learned it. For instance, for me, I learned it from my parents and my grandparents. I have to forgive myself for thinking that was true. I have to forgive myself for believing so heavily in this lie and letting it corrupt my life. Yeah, start by forgiving yourself and watch how that pressure lifts off. I no longer have to feel bad for that because it's not true. I get to decide now that it's not true, and that's okay that I believed it for so long. Some of us might carry unforeseen guilt and shame around that, but you can shed it really easily just by speaking it out loud, by journaling it. So some example thoughts that you might have that fall into this sort of category are the thoughts that start with you can't or you won't, like you can't have something or you won't achieve something for whatever reason. Those are the thoughts that you really need to pay attention to and really nip in the bud and flip them around as soon as you see them. So The ways that you change those thoughts is you find your power in changing the narrative. Isn't it incredible to know that you have the power to completely change your life by just changing the thought itself? I think that's pretty incredible. And you have a lot of power in your word. The first law in the four agreements, the first agreement in the four agreements is be impeccable with your word. Your word starts with yourself. The way you talk to yourself is how you're going to talk to the world and talk to other people and see the world. And all of our power is in the way we speak over our life. Honestly, it's really important to know that it all begins with you. And you have the power in controlling that narrative that you've been telling yourself, that being you're a victim of something or someone. You're not only losing your power in that, you're handing it over. One way that really helps me get grounded and get in tune with my body and with the world around me is by dropping into meditation and quieting my mind and finding that space that's beyond all this illusion and this veil. And in that place is where you realize that you are the creator of your world. And one thing that I would urge you to do to instantly drop the victim mindset on any particular situation, essentially on your whole entire life, is by dedicating at least 10 minutes of your day in the early morning before you go out into the world, before you talk to anybody. Put on your headphones and play 10 minutes of a sound bath, 10 minutes of ocean waves, 10 minutes of something that you're not going to judge. I know people like to do the guided ones. Those are great, but I think it works faster when you are just sitting with yourself, nobody else's energy or input. And focus on nothing. Focus on nothing. And you will begin to see all the little ways that everything is connected. Everything. And you will begin to realize that you have a direct impact on your everyday. You can add to that 10 minutes at the end by spending 5 or 3 minutes visualizing something in particular, really feeling it, like a certain flower or a certain bird. And watch how the world brings that to you in your everyday. It's really amazing. And you'll begin to see that you had the power all along. So why continue to stay in such a crappy feeling, a powerless feeling? What I actually wrote down for this point was validate your experiences internally, because people may and often will project and inhibit your growth. That may not apply to you. If it does, then you're similar to me in that you really feed off of bouncing your experiences off of other people. When I was a kid and I didn't share a lot of my darker thoughts with my family members or my kid friends on the playground, I was watching, like scary time YouTube videos or reading scary stories on Wattpad or stories of abuse, just things that reflected my inner turmoil at the time, because what I was craving is something to bounce that back off of and receive validation for how I was feeling. Eventually I got into therapy. But if you don't have access to therapy, or you don't really have close people that you talk to about certain things, you can do it for yourself. You can validate your experiences yourself by looking within and knowing that if you're hurt, you're hurt, and you have to take time to heal. But nobody's going to heal you except for yourself. Don't waste your time telling other people how you feel and hoping that they give it back to you. They're going to keep you in the crappy energy. They're going to give it back to you for sure. It's going to be the same exact frequency that you're on, if not lower. So don't do that. Validate your own experience within. The next point is to have faith in something. Have faith in your religion, in the cosmos, in the universe. It's really, really nice to know and remember that you're not here for no reason, that everything is on purpose. It's really nice to know and remember that you're loved unconditionally by that which you believe in and have faith in. There's always something to fall back on. When you remain true and with love, nothing can stop you. It's really nice to know that. So have something to believe in and devote a part of yourself to, if not all of you to. Because that's what you get back. Something that goes along with devotion is this next point of making it a scheduled event that you cleanse your energy, both physically and mentally. Go take a really nice shower, go get some really nice sage, take care of yourself like the temple that you are, and make it a point to do this at least once a week. I personally sage and obviously shower every day. So every time I do that, it's a ritual. I know that not everybody wants to do the whole thing, all the time, but it's really important to have intention with yourself, with caring for yourself. A lot of what that victim mind frame comes from is lack of self-worth and self-responsibility. We've left ourselves somewhere. You gotta go get yourself, pick yourself up, and take care of yourself as such, and remind yourself as much as possible. Yep, that was pretty much it. My last point tied into that perfectly. It was our body and our minds, our beautiful vessels, and our temples. So picking from the Dark Goddess deck today. Okay, I think I'm gonna shuffle over my bed because these cards keep going all over. Alright, so the two that came out were Destruction and Integrity. Blue. Alright, the battery is dying, so that's perfect timing. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here. I hope to see you soon. Bye.